In what might amount to the most shocking news of the week and potentially of the year, former WWE Champion The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, has been released from WWE. WWE made the announcement on their social media platforms before soon deleting the tweets. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful then later confirmed the reports that Bray Wyatt has been released. The superstar has not been seen since WrestleMania 37, where he lost to Randy Orton in the opener of Night 2 of WrestleMania 37 in Tampa Bay, Florida. There's been numerous reports going from him dealing with the loss of Brody Lee to creative having nothing for him over the last couple of months to explain his absence from television. But this comes as a shock to many fans and wrestlers alike that Bray Wyatt has been released from WWE. You can check out this week's Romeo report that was released earlier today with Romeo and myself, where we talked about the breaking news in detail, and we will have more on this breaking news story next week on Tru Heel Heat.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are back with another weekly podcast, Tru Heel Heat 136. On this edition of Tru Heel Heat, we will be discussing the latest wrestling news, including update on CM Punk to AEW and how it ties into AEW's latest live event announcement that was made on Fight for the Fallen. Speaking of Fight for the Fallen, we will do a recap on that huge event featuring the 10-man elimination tag, as well as Nick Gage going one-on-one with Chris Jericho in a no-rules match in the second Labor of Jericho. Review of WWE NXT, WWE Raw, New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Grand Slam, Impact Wrestling, and SmackDown. Update on where WWE's Queen of the Ring tournament will take place, and it's mighty interesting. And our individual must-see Forbidden Door matches as AEW teases more New Japan development on their promotion. We will give you our top 3 Forbidden Door dream matches and much more. I am back once again with the beautiful, the lovely. She took a week off and she's gotten more beautiful, Miss Krssi Love.
Thanks, guys. I missed you. You guys did wonderful on the live stream on Saturday. Sorry I couldn't be there, but I'm here today. Missed you guys.
We've missed you too, as always. And of course, I am back with the resident Tru Heel alcoholic himself, Top Guy JJ.
Yes, sir. Oh my God, yo, I love that chain, yo. I love that chain, boy. That chain is pretty fire. Like I don't know what's going on here. Like I might have seen that chain
I'm about to say yes. You've seen this
a number of times, but I guess I'm loving the contrast with the gold and the black. I think I'm liking that. I think I'm liking that double. And then of course, I don't know how you make these do-rags look good, man, but I think I'm calling these do-rags, these headscarves, head wraps.
I was about to say these are head wraps, but you know, it's okay.
Yeah, I corrected myself real quick. And no alcohol for me today. Got a big day tomorrow. No alcohol for me today.
Yeah, no same. I'm drinking water. It's too early. I need to get to the rest of the day.
We understand. Okay, but of course, this edition of Tru Heel Heat is brought to you by our friends over at Powered 4 TV, the leading streaming site for all independent wrestling in the UK. You can get 50% off of your first month on Powered 4 TV by using the promo code SP3. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, drop us a like, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat. If you're watching us live during our premiere, leave your thoughts in the live chat. We love the discussion going on as we premiere the latest episode of Tru Heel Heat, so drop us a thought butt or super chat if you want in the live chat here, or leave your comments down below in the comments section and tell us what you think about the latest wrestling news. And if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, give us a star rating, a 5-star rating, leave us a review, and we will shout you out on the next edition of Tru Heel Heat during our Tru Heel roll call as we kick off every edition of Tru Heel Heat, shouting out our supporters on social media and the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. Our top 3 conversation starters on the Tru Heels group page. Coming in at number 3 is Ted Williams. Coming in at number 2 is Luis Jaden. And coming in at number 1, once again, is the Negro Buck himself, Nick Jackson. A couple of Tru Heels that we got to shout out on this edition here. You got Dave Newman, Daryl Lucas, Matthew E. Flores, and Stephanie Sepulveda. YouTube subscriber highlight Beep Boop has been commenting on a lot of different videos. We appreciate you, good brother. And he said on Rated Raw Superstars number 11 this week, didn't watch Raw because I was in the hospital. We hope you are doing well, sir. But you can be damn sure one of the first things I did was look for your Raw review, and we always appreciate that. We appreciate the sacrifice of Romeo and Drunk Guy JJ for watching Monday Night Raw live and going live following the show. So always appreciate the comments like Beep Boop there on Tru Heel Heat 130. Poor thing. On Tru Heel Heat 135, Carnage Payne commented, "This was a great show and very balanced. We appreciate the love, and we got to shout out and thank our special guest from Tru Heel Heat 135, Samira from SE Scoops. She did a great job and even got one of the matches for New Japan that me and Top Guy JJ got wrong. She got correct. So for someone who admitted that she hadn't watched a lot of New Japan, she represented for the ladies well for you, Miss Krssi Love."
Oh, great. Good job.
Sure did.
Good job. Good job.
Did.
Always love when the ladies are in the house, right?
I outdid both of us on that pick. I was like, wow.
Awesome. So we're going to start off this edition of Tru Heel Heat with our top news story. And similar to last week, it is about none other than CM Punk. The latest on CM Punk signing with AEW. Fightful Select, the Sean Ross Sapp, who first dropped the scoop of the year that CM Punk was thinking about returning to professional wrestling, has now provided an update on the rumors of CM Punk being in talks with AEW, which began last week. According to the latest update, sources indicated that there had been consideration and interest on AEW's part for bringing in CM Punk since last year. It's unknown if formal conversations between Punk and AEW began at that time. However, company higher-ups had openly mentioned the idea of him coming in at some point. About 2 months ago, talent on the roster hadn't heard about Punk possibly coming in when they asked around regarding the subject. Additionally, Punk has been a hot topic of conversation backstage in AEW over the past week. More specifically, it was those who have not worked with CM Punk in the past have been asking others how it is to work with him. AEW had made attempts to bring in Punk in the past. In April 2019, CM Punk spoke about receiving a general offer from AEW at one point. This news comes off the heels of Living Color now following AEW on Twitter and Instagram. Their song Cult of Personality was Punk's entrance theme song in WWE, ROH, and the UFC. So it seems as though this is another sign that Punk could be headed to AEW soon. Punk himself also started following AEW on Twitter recently. Kenny Omega has addressed the rumors in an interview with Wrestling Observer Radio. He said in regards to Punk, and I quote, "CM Punk, a guy who probably has a different line of thinking than your current day performer, your average performer, and he has this incredible reputation, and he has fans to this day who would follow him to the ends of the earth. A very dedicated fan base, and that fan base believes he's the best in the world and will be the best until the end of time. If you're able to have people like that who follow your career so passionately, you probably have something very special about you." The Young Bucks, on the other hand, addressed the rumors in only their own way on their Twitter bio, writing, and I quote, "Are the rumors true? Question mark. IDK. We just hope they can take our finish well." Love us, the Young Bucks, and their sarcasm. Body Slam's Cassidy Haynes reports that AEW President Tony Khan, along with the AEW EVPs, flew to Chicago on a private jet early this week to film promotional footage. AEW will be going to the city in the first week of September for Dynamite, Rampage, and All Out at the Now Arena. The company is looking to make Chicago their number 2 market, and reportedly wants CM Punk to be there. It was noted that in regards to the rumors that Punk is in talks to debut for the company, it's a matter of when, not if. And then it was announced on AEW Dynamite Fight for the Fallen 2021 that the company would hold their first event in the United Center, the home of the Chicago Bulls, in Chicago on August 20th for a special Rampage episode entitled The First Dance, an homage to the Last Dance documentary on Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls that was released last year. This caused a huge CM Punk chant from the Charlotte crowd at Fight for the Fallen, and of course, that led into an interview with Darby Allin where he said, to prove yourself as the greatest, you have to prove it in AEW, even if you think that you're the best in the world. We also got MJF doing and quoting the pipe bomb later in the night to Chris Jericho following the main event. Miss Krssi Love, you weren't with us for Tru Heel Heat 135, so I'm going to go to you first. What are your thoughts on AEW's biggest tease yet of CM Punk coming in and them running the United Center, a 23,000 seat arena, the day before SummerSlam with potentially Punk's debut?
Okay, first of all, chills. 1. 2. Wow. The United Center, like, that is humongous. Like, first of all, we're still in the Panorama, and we're gonna have these big ass events. Great.
Panorama. That's a camera view, love.
I know. Get with the joke. Come on, guys. Panorama, pandemic. Come on.
They
you don't
are
want to
not the same thing. It's not tomato here.
Oh God.
She said Panorama.
We're still in the Panorama, guys. Come on.
Oh my God. Just like who's Kevin? We need a Panorama shirt.
Yeah, Panorama. We're still in a pandemic, guys. Come on. I'm trying to.
Still in a Panorama.
We're still in a Panorama. God, you guys are, no jokes with you guys at all. I just went over that.
I'm laughing. No. Trust me, I'm laughing.
Jesus.
It was definitely funny.
Okay, so we're still in the hype of a pandemic. So yeah, the United Center is really, really huge. Love to see it. I'll be watching it from my home. But also it's a good FU the day before SummerSlam. Go, everyone, come to Chicago. Don't go to Las Vegas. Come over here. I don't know how drunk guy JJ is gonna do it. He's gotta get 2 tickets. He gotta get SummerSlam and the tickets for Chicago, because he's gonna try his best to get to both of them.
Knowing him.
And he got several outfits ready on site. But I'm excited to see if it really happens. I mean, just got to sit back and watch and see if it does happen. Wow, that would be AEW is just pulling out all the things out of the magic hat right now. They're just pulling out all of the tricks. It's just like, even from Dynamite's episode, wow. So it's like, for you to just like, now this is a big one that we're gonna just hold on to really tight, and for him to go against Darby Allin, great. Cool, love to see it. I think that would be a great opponent for him, because Darby will, like, he can throw Darby Allin all around like a rag doll. So it'll be great,
So what do you think? We asked the percentage on Tru Heel Heat 135 after this strongly teasing CM Punk on the latest edition of AEW Dynamite. What is your percentage that we see CM Punk at the first dance on August 20th?
Ooh. People keep giving all of these like little like teasers and like little hints here and there, like these little like things that go over your head, like, did he just say that or whatever? So I would give it maybe about 75%, maybe.
All right, that's fair.
I think 75 is a good number. Half says, and then the other little percentage says, maybe not.
That's fair.
What'd you guys say?
Top guy JJ, what are your thoughts on these huge teases of CM Punk on AEW Dynamite and then running the United Center for the second AEW Rampage for the first dance?
United Center is the first thing I thought when I saw it. I was like, that's a pretty large venue for them to not have something big happen. It's in Chicago. It's SummerSlam weekend. Everyone knows it's SummerSlam weekend. You got SummerSlam and you got NXT. They actually flipped the order of the pay-per-views this year. So you got Rampage the night before. If you make it to fucking Vegas after going to Chicago, it's a 4-hour flight. So if you're able to make it, kudos to you. But RIP to your sleep.
R.I.P. Yeah, because you're not getting no sleep at all. None whatsoever.
No, because you're going to have to make it to the airport a couple hours early and then endure a 4-hour flight and then
2 different time zones.
You got to get into a room. So there will be people that will do this.
They will be, yes.
Will do this, and they will be living on energy drinks the entire weekend. And then they will crash hard on Monday. But this is all but confirmed. It has to be all but confirmed. I'm gonna go as far as 98% because
that's a lot.
They are not doing these things. They know what they're doing. AEW has shown over the course of the past couple of years that they know what they're doing, and they're not putting these Easter eggs in there for nothing. They're not doing this for no reason. They're not putting this Darby Allin promo on purpose for no reason. They're not having MJF mimic an exact promo on purpose for no reason. They're not doing this for no reason. They are trying to amp this thing up so they can sell those 20,000+ tickets to have a sold out arena, because AEW doesn't run venues this large very often. So for them to get to sell this out, they got to pull out all the stops. And if they think they got this guy locked and loaded and signed and the commitment is there, they are going to use the hell out of it to sell, because they're going to make a payoff out of this. They got to pay this shit off. They're going to have enough money to pay all these people. AEW has got a lot of contracts, a lot of very hefty contracts. And they are going to have to start filling up these large arenas to pay these guys off.
Seems legit. Krssi, I know you kind of mentioned it when you were talking about it, but do you believe that Darby Allin is a good choice to be CM Punk's first opponent in AEW?
Well, yeah, I think, like I said, Darby, he's young, and he can let the older guy throw him around and make him look good and, do his thing. And still, let CM Punk get the win off. But he's going to be a good offense for him. So I think it's going to be great for him. I think that's a great choice.
What about you, Top Guy JJ?
I think it is going to be good if they're all trading off between Punk, Darby, and Sting. Because I don't think that Darby is going to be able to handle the promo game on the level of what CM Punk would deliver in the promo game by himself.
That's why he needs Sting.
I think there's going to be a contrast there. There has to be, because Darby, there's no way Darby is going to be able to hang with Punk on the mic. There's no way.
Yeah. It'll be hard.
That sounds, yeah.
Hard pressed for Darby to keep up with one of the greatest promo guys of all time, but it's very, very interesting indeed. Strong teases for CM Punk showing up, a huge event at the United Center. It's probably, if they're able to sell this out 2 weeks before they're running 3 more events in Chicago, it would probably be one of the biggest feats in AEW history. And I said it on Twitter when the announcement announcement was made. Running the United Center a day before SummerSlam with CM Punk's debut is the ultimate put your dick on the table move by Tony Khan.
Not the dick on the table, guys. Whoa.
Tony Khan is a loony guy, but I mean, running the United Center, a bigger venue than what they're going to run for those 3 events in Chicago during All Out Week, is crazy for his secondary show. He's gonna have a possible CM Punk debut on his secondary show. This is stuff that we
not even the main
see.
show. Yeah, not even the main show.
This is just stuff we don't see.
But the reason about it is that everybody's eyes is going to be on wrestling that weekend.
Yeah.
The fact that they're using, and it's kind of like they're using that WWE platform to enhance their viewership, because everybody knows you got SmackDown, you got SummerSlam weekend. That whole weekend is heavy.
Wait, isn't Takeover that day too?
No, Takeover is on the Sunday. There's going to be SmackDown.
They flipped the order. There's
going to be SmackDown, SmackDown, and then Rampage is after SmackDown, and then SummerSlam is on the Saturday, and then Takeover is on the Sunday.
So you got the go-home show to SmackDown on Friday night, then Rampage follows right after that. So to follow a go-home show is fucking genius. It is genius.
So they're not at the same time slot?
No.
Rampage is at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, Rampage starts at 10.
Oh my God.
It's only 1 hour, 10 to 11.
It's like a Sunday Night Heat almost. Okay, great. Got you. All right, so continue. Go ahead.
That's why it's genius. They're putting this in, probably going to be one of their... You're probably going to get north of 3 to 3.5 million viewers for the go-home show to SummerSlam. Because SmackDown's been killing it. So their viewership is definitely...
I don't know about 3 million. They haven't hit 3 million yet.
They've been in the twos. They've been in the twos constantly. Yeah. And fuck, if Monday Night Raw can get an uptick in viewership, why the hell SmackDown can't?
They have. They were at like 2 million. Now they're doing like 2.2, 2.3 since fans are back. So I'm not saying that it...
So they hit a 2.5, 2.6. All right, so to be fair, do a 2.5, 2.6. Those eyeballs know United Center is right after. They know it's right after. So even if 900,000 of those people watch this, it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be freaking epic. They know what they're doing.
For those who follow my content, I probably will be talking to Sports Keto Wrestling and telling them that I am not going to do Smack Talk following SmackDown and compete that week, most especially. But
right.
I talk to Dutch Mantel and see if he can watch AEW so we can review both. But stay tuned.
A couple of additional notes to add to the CM Punk story. Cassidy Haynes of BodySlam.net has confirmed in an interview with Wrestling Inc. how the locker room feels about CM Punk coming in. He says, and I quote, "I started hearing more and more about Daniel Bryan because I was trying to ask about CM Punk to begin with, but nobody really said anything. They were finding out, most of them at the same time. All of us were. I think very few people knew about that one. As far as I know, everybody seems to be really excited that I've talked to, because this is huge for them. I don't think anybody harbors any bad feelings towards him, except the Punk Colt Cabana thing, which is interesting with him being a producer. They're going to be in the back a lot together, so how's that going to happen? They're going to have to interact at some point." And in even bigger news regarding the AEW Rampage, the first dance pre-sale numbers. The first day for pre-sales was huge, with over 10,000 tickets sold, tallying up to 12,000 tickets in total by PW Insider. So it seems that this event will be selling well in the United Center on August 20th. We'll have more details soon to come.
All right, but we got to move on to what we missed. And of course, we got to start off with AEW. Once again, AEW Dynamite Fight for the Fallen 2021. The main event was Chris Jericho defeating Nick Gage in a brutal no rules main event that included pizza cutters, which great symmetry with TNT, how you had a pizza cutter spot into a Domino's pizza commercial immediately during the picture. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful symmetry. You also had Glass, Jericho doing a Hurricane Rana off the top rope to Nick Gage through a pane of glass. You
What a
also had
spot.
You also
Yo.
had
Spot.
tubes. You had a power driver into glass. After the match, MJF announced that the next labor of Jericho will be none other than his former WCW rival, the man that he unmasked in WCW, Juventud Guerrera. My God, Hoovy, the juice is back. The juice is back, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait for it. We also had the Elite Squad defeat Hangman Page and the Dark Order in a 10-man elimination tag, with Kenny Omega beating Page with the One Ring Angel in the final elimination to leave Omega and Nick Jackson as the sole survivors. This match had it all. It had amazing, probably the best intros to a 5-on-5 tag I've ever seen.
Yes.
A little like anyone could be a cowboy vignette for the Dark Order, including a spotlight, an empty spotlight left for Brody Lee.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful. I almost cried during that entrance there. You also had the Elite play the Elite Squad with basketball intros, including Kenny Omega being the only guy in this match from North Carolina, and then breaking out in the Space Jam play-in, and they did the advertisement because Warner Media is the producers behind Space Jam. A great play-in, much better than the Army for the Dead play-in that they did at WrestleMania Backlash. I just want to say that. Sorry.
Why would you poison our minds on this episode with that memory?
Just had to mention that. Just a whole lot of fun, a very fun opener to the show. FTR defeated Santana and Ortiz, even though Cash Wheeler was hurt during the match.
I'm about to say, didn't he get really injured?
Yeah, he got hit on a ring post, cutting his arm very badly. The match got cut short. Christian Cage and Jurassic Express defeated HFO in a trios tag match. You also had Lance Archer defeat Hikuleo with his father Ming to retain in his corner to retain the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship.
He looks great, by the way.
Before the match, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Hiroshi Tanahashi challenged the winner to a match for the title, which has been officially made for the New Japan Resurgence event on August 14th at the Torch in Los Angeles Coliseum. And also Jon Moxley cut a promo teasing a future match with the Ace. Krssi Love, what was your thoughts on Fight for the Fallen, and what was your highlight of the night?
Fight for the Fallen was very excellent. Whoever is sitting, again, I've said this for the last couple of weeks, whoever is sitting at the table and putting this shit together, bravo. You guys know how to put on a freaking show. You guys know what the fans want. You know what to give us. You give us just enough. You're not even giving us all of the stuff. You're giving us and they got so much more to give us. It's we got more weeks to keep going. I wish Santana Ortiz would have won, but that's just my feelings on it. Give them a little bit of shine. My highlight, that closing match, I'm these guys, first of all, they are old as dirt. And to do a wrestling match like this is, not dirt. I'm sorry, they're in their 50s. Sorry, guys, that's not old. That's
Nick Gage is in his 40s, to be fair.
Yeah, okay.
Just saying.
But the last match gave me okay, these guys can't do anymore. And then when they had the pizza cutter, I'm okay, no more. Then the glass, I was all right. First of all, the referee, who was a woman, did her thing. Bravo to her. For calling such a crazy match. But it was glass all over the place. It was just heck. It was pandemonium all over the place in that ring, and she did wonderful. I think that was one of my highlights. And then Britt Baker's promo, great. Rebel, good. Love them. So I think those are my two. But the opening match, the starting lineup, the Elite did it for me. They were hilarious. And the only one from North Carolina. And then, you said, that thing with Brody Lee gave, everyone was matching, everyone was all coordinated. And I'm not a fan of 10-man tag. But they did it was a fun match. It was an awesome match. So I'll give it to the opening match.
Yes. I would say my highlight was, First of all, definitely the CM Punk teases and the announcement of the United Center, and then and seeing Hiroshi Tanahashi on my
Yes.
screen
With the nice
in
blowout looking.
AEW.
Yep.
But I agree, the match of the night was definitely the 5-on-5 tag, the Elite Squad. I was heartbroken by that finish with Hangman losing. I thought this would be Hangman's moment. I love the callbacks to Revolution with the Omega and the Young Bucks versus Hangman Page in like the 1-on-3 scenario.
Yes.
It just had everything you would want. It was a little bit of like PWG craziness meets with like the work rate that we're known from the Elite, and Hangman Page was a great babyface. The Dark Order were just great babyfaces. Stu Grayson flying all over the place. Just great performances all around, and a heartbreaking finish, even though I still think we do have a chance. Hangman Page will make it to verse Omega at All Out. I got my heart's intent on this match happening, and I think he's gonna figure out some way to get it. But Top Guy JJ, what stood out the most for you? What was your highlight and match of the night?
What stands out for me, and I guess it's on a weekly basis with AEW, is that they just know how to plug everyone into the show with substance.
The order,
even though it was only like 3 minutes, they knew how to fit Cody and Malachi Black in there. Even though it was only 2 minutes, they knew how to fit Pac. They knew how to fit the tease of Pac and Andrade on there. Like, they just know how to just keep your eyeballs relevant on all of these guys, and All Out is going to be a big show. Like, All Out is going to be a big show. I just want to see this card. I want to see this card formulate already. I want to see it formulate already. But as far as the show, I mean, of course, the 10-man tag was fucking awesome. Like, the performance of Hangman Page was nothing short of phenomenal. Like, the beating that he took, the endurance that he showed, still being able to take out one of the Bucks. I was glad that he actually lost, because it wouldn't have showed such heroics going into a title match. There's still some adversity that Hangman is facing. That final piece of adversity that he still has to face. But, oh my God. I mean, Nick freaking Gage and Jericho, like, oh my God. I wasn't expecting Jericho to go through all of that.
I didn't think so neither.
Yo, he basically pulled out the death match on Jericho.
Right.
and this shit was just, I was like, this shit is getting sicker and sicker. This shit is getting, I was literally on like a call, and I was like, okay, I can't focus on this. I gotta see the rest of this match, because this shit is crazy. I wasn't expecting the backyard wrestling to enter an AEW ring, and that's exactly what the fuck happened.
It did, right.
So, I mean, AEW is just, I feel like AEW every week is just literally doing the show as a fan. They're doing the show as fans, and it's displaying itself on the TV screen. They're not doing it as a show. They're doing it as fans of product.
Yeah, and they understand what to do.
They know how to give you nuggets every single week. And, I mean, I can never, like, on Wednesdays, for wrestling purposes, Wednesdays or whatever day that they're on, I try my hardest to not miss AEW, because I'm not going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I was saying this. I did a Patreon podcast on The Distraction with Joseph Holberg. I was like, if there's one show that I watch live every single week, it's AEW. And I don't need to get paid to watch it like I do with SmackDown. It's because I genuinely enjoy the show, and it caters to me as a wrestling fan. And it gives you a little bit of everything. Like Top Guy JJ said, you know, you got your death match that you would only see in like certain independent wrestling or CZW or GCW. You got like the 10-man tag, which is a little bit of like PWG comedy mixed with like high spots and stuff like that. You get basically you get everything you would want as a professional wrestling fan. There's good promos, there's good angles, like the stuff with Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes. There's the promo by Darby Allin. There's teases to what's to come, and it doesn't leave you like, what's going to happen next. They always tell you the lineup for the following week, so you come back and you always have a reason to come back the following week and to come back weeks at a time. And that's why I'm hopeful that when we flash the rating right here, it's over 1 million once again. Right. Producer sir probably already has it up on the screen for your eyes, but I'm hoping that this run of programming continues for AEW. There's certain Delta variants and COVID-19 still breaking out with the Panorama, as Krssi Love would say. So we are hopeful that AEW can keep having live fans in attendance and keep up this momentum for sure.
We have a couple additional notes to add to our AEW Fight for the Fallen 2021 Fallout. The viewership, as you saw, was 1.1 million viewers. The third week in a row AEW Dynamite has done over 1 million viewers, and it actually tallies up to be the fourth highest viewership for AEW Dynamite in its history. So another successful week, third straight week with over 1 million viewers. So fans back at All Elite Wrestling seems to be a success thus far. And in even bigger news that had social media abuzz, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that at this time, Hangman Adam Page is currently not planned to be the challenger for Kenny Omega at AEW All Out on September 5th in Chicago, Illinois. At one point, it was planned for Page to get to the match, but things changed. The match on Wednesday was designed to shock the crowd. On commentary, it was pushed that Christian Cage could be next in line for a title match next, although it's unknown if that will be at the pay-per-view or an episode of TV. This led to a lot of fan outrage, with fans feeling that AEW has really pushed this as the main event of All Out, and feeling that CM Punk and Daniel Bryan have caused the match to be pushed back. It remains to be seen who exactly will fill the spot. Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter speculated that it would either be Christian Cage or Eddie Kingston to replace Hangman Page, so it remains to be seen, with CM Punk coming into AEW and possibly having his comeback match at All Out. The thinking within the company is that they don't want Punk's comeback to overshadow Hangman Page's moment. It seems that they still have plans for a Hangman Page Kenny Omega showdown, but it will not happen at All Out. Also, it seems that the synergy that I talked about during our AEW Fight for the Fallen 2021 Fallout and recap between TNT and AEW during the Nick Gage versus Chris Jericho No Rules match was by accident. Domino's Pizza is concerned that people are being attacked with pizza cutters on AEW Dynamite, and they have issued a statement about it. Of course, at AEW Dynamite Fight for the Fallen 2021, Nick Gage used a pizza cutter to slice Chris Jericho's head open in the main event. Immediately after, a split screen had a Domino's ad, which many imagined was an intentional placement between Domino's and AEW and TNT. Front office reports that no such collaboration happened, and Domino's gave a statement saying they are considering their advertisement for on the show. They said, and I quote, "We shared the concerns expressed about this incident and the content of this TV-14 rated program and are assessing our advertising presence on it going further." Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter also speculated that someone went to Domino's to make a complaint about this TV-14 material, with many speculating that it was possibly someone from WWE. That remains to be seen and has not been confirmed, but speculation is speculation, so we will keep you updated right here on Tru Heel Heat.
We got to move on to New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Grand Slam, which was on over the weekend in the Tokyo Dome. You had Shingo Takagi defeat Hiroshi Tanahashi in a fantastic main event to retain the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. After the match, Evil attacked Shingo to challenge him for the title. You also had Dangerous Tekkers defeat Naito and Sanada to win the IWGP IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles for the third time. Kazuchika Okada defeated Jeff Cobb in a great matchup as well. You also had Robbie Eagles beat El Desperado to win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, and he became the first Australian to win a title in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Also, Chase Owens won the New Japan Rambo to win the King of Pro Wrestling 2021 trophy. Top Guy JJ, when I tell you that Evil is the next challenger for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, what is your reaction following the run that Evil had last year?
I'm not mad at it because I don't assume that he's going to win the title. But it was kind of underwhelming. But it was, I love the character change that he went through when he became the champion. But then kind of like everything after that was kind of a dud. But I'm not mad at it. I mean, you're going to have new challenges for the title. So I'm not mad. Give Shingo some lovely new competition that he's going to just run through. Because Evil ain't beating no motherfucking Shingo Takagi to win that title. Not happening in this year or next year or the year after that. Sorry, sir. Try again.
Very, very doubtful, but I'm hoping that Kota Ibushi gets well. We talked about it last week that he has the aspiration pneumonia that kept him out of the show in the Tokyo Dome. We will get into where the Evil and Shingo match will take place. That's why I only question it. It just gave me a deflating feeling seeing Evil was the next challenger for Shingo Takagi, because although I wasn't too down on Evil's run, he probably would go down in the last decade as the most
the weakest champions.
Probably the weakest IWGP heavyweight champion of the past decade. So to see that he's going to be the next challenger for Shingo, it's like you really want Shingo to do a lot of work here. So God bless you, Shingo. Next up, we also had over the weekend GCW Homecoming with Matt Cardona, aka the former Zack Ryder, defeating Nick motherfucking Gage.
So Nick Gage had 2 back-to-back losses? What's happening? They must have paid this man a lot of money.
To win.
They must have paid him a lot of money.
Matt Cardona became the new GCW World Champion thanks to interference from RSP and 44-0 stable. They interfered. RSP low-blowed Gage before Cardona hit him with light tubes and then hit the radio silence to get the win in what was amazing heat from the fans in Atlantic City, including them raining down trash and beer bottles on the ring following his loss. You would have thought Matt Cardona was Hulk Hogan turning on the fans in WCW in 1996.
I was like, wow. That was Matt Cardona is getting this nuclear heat and what year are we in? So that weekend it was Nick motherfucking Gage, and then on Dynamite we had Nick freaking Gage.
Nick Gage had the best week ever. He was in the biggest independent wrestling match of the year against Matt Cardona, and then was on in cable television against Chris Jericho. Cardona was viciously beaten in this matchup. He had a huge gash on his arm following this victory, blood stained on a white shirt. The white shirt that you couldn't even tell was white anymore. It was so full of blood. The next night at Homecoming Part 2, Nick Gage interrupted Cardona's lawyer, Smart Mark Sterling, addressing the GCW universe. RSP and his 44-0 stable came down to circle Gage, but his MDK stable made the save and set up MDK versus 44-0 in the Art of War Games in Chicago, Illinois during Labor Day weekend for GCW. GCW will be having an event during All Out weekend, so that's going to be huge. And if you've seen a GCW regular match, just imagine how War Games is going to be for them. But Krssi Love, what is your reaction to Matt Cardona trending not only number 1 over the weekend, but trending number 1 against UFC and the Olympics? Matt Cardona winning the GCW World Championship.
Really? Was he trending on Twitter like that?
Was
wow.
A motherfucking hot topic
Congrats to him. Well deserved. He deserves those flowers. Good for you, friend. Like, yeah, I mean, no one's watching the Olympics this year. I mean, this is like.
I'm not sure he got flowers. He got a lot of motherfucking bandages and band-aids.
Well, figure of speech, friend.
I'm just fucking with you. I know. But
dang.
If you see what that man went through, if you see
I saw the pictures and I didn't even know who it was until I had to like zoom. I read the name. I was like, no. But yeah, I mean, wow, yeah, no one's watching the Olympics, so not surprised at that. Like this is no one is watching. Like this is the first time I can actually say that no one is going out to a bar to watch it. I'm going off topic, but yeah, no one's giving a fuck about that. But I mean, love to see it. I'm happy that wrestling was trending more than the Olympics and the UFC. Good. Let them see what these guys are doing. Let them see, even if it was a bloodbath. So what? It's okay.
And you know what I'm loving about the Matt Cardona story? If you see his reaction to what he goes through in these matches, you could literally see his reaction. Like, this is what my life has become. Like, I've become hate animal. I used to be a superstar, and I'm going through war now. Like, you could just see it in his reactions in these matches are fucking golden.
Absolutely. But yes, like you said, JJ, the reactions to him, his reaction was beautiful after the match. Soaked in the ring, trash all over the ring, and he's looking at the GCW title like the boyhood dream has come true.
Motherfuckers, fuck y'all, yo.
It was wonderful stuff.
All the trials and tribulations, man, is sitting there fucking beaten, bruised, and proud to be a champion in front of people that didn't want it to happen.
Yeah, and like Krssi Love always talks about, people leaving WWE and having the hot girl summer, and you would think someone like Zack Ryder, who, like JJ was saying off camera, like constantly, every single time he got himself over or got an opportunity, they denied him. 2011, he was more popular than ever before. The Rock was in the middle of the ring in Madison Square Garden, and fans were chanting for Zack Ryder. He wins the United States Championship, then he gets into like that cuckold storyline with John Cena kissing his girlfriend in front of him, the Embrace the Hate or Rise Above the Hate storyline with Kane beating him all over the place, wins at WrestleMania 32 the Intercontinental Championship, loses it the very next night. You would think that him coming out of WWE would there would be fan embrace to him, but he goes to AEW and never quite connects there and never quite gets over. He's only there for like 5 weeks and then he leaves. He goes to Impact Wrestling. He's never been viewed really there as a main event star. He's kind of been in the mid-card feuding with Brian Myers, but it took him going to the death match and putting his body on the line, and now he's more popular probably even when he was a babyface in 2011, and he's the top heel in GCW. It's a beautiful thing for someone who worked so hard.
Yep, he deserves it, even if it had to be a bloodbath.
And if our producer can put up a picture of 2011 in the ring, the World Heavyweight Champion Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, WWE Champion CM Punk, United States Champion Zack Ryder, and now in 2021, they are the hot topics in professional wrestling. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Right. Well, look at that.
We got to move on to WWE NXT. Samoa Joe cut a masterful re-signing.
That's part of the show. That's it. Close off.
Resigning as NXT management and becoming a part of the active roster and officially challenging Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship at TakeOver 36. You also had Dakota Kai turned on Raquel Gonzalez after a very good promo where she said, "As long as I'm by your side, you will always be champion." And that didn't last much longer. Adam Cole defeated Bronson Reed in the main event and then was attacked by Kyle O'Reilly, who gave him a brainbuster on the steel steps. You also had Ridge Holland return after a serious injury last year to help Pete Dunne and Orny Lurkin defeat Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher in a hard-hitting opener. Carmelo Hayes beat Josh Briggs to move on in the breakout tournament. And you also had the hilarious golf segment with LA Knight and Cameron Grimes on a show that was on Sci-Fi, preempted because of the Olympics. It was off USA Network, and it did 520K. Not the best rating, but understandable with the move over to Sci-Fi. But Krssi Love, what was your highlight from NXT this week?
Samoa Joe definitely was one of my highlights of the night. One of the ones I can definitely remember. That and the Indy Hartwell that she's her because she's gonna get Dexter back and he's gonna be a part of the family. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait to see it. But I'm so stoked to see Samoa Joe, and he's gonna. I guess they only recognize him as a champion on NXT, so let him be champ over there then.
He can potentially become the first ever 3-time NXT champion.
Yes. I'm ready for it. I can't wait to see it.
Should be very interesting at TakeOver 36, which is really shaping up to be a great card.
Yeah.
Walter versus Dragunov, maybe Dakota versus Raquel. So bunch of big matches for that event, SummerSlam weekend. WWE Raw, they did 1.8 million viewers this week. Still slightly down from last week, but still up in the ratings that they were doing a couple of weeks ago. Charlotte Flair defeated Raw Women's Champion Nikki Ash in a championship contenders match. It seems to be WWE's new thing to do.
My finger was on the camera button.
I figured as much. But yes, she beat her in a championship contenders match to set up a match next week. This was made after it was announced Nikki Ash will defend the Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match at SummerSlam. Karrion Kross beat Keith Lee in his second week on the main roster.
This is... Oh, God, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Welcome back, Keith Lee.
Right, that part.
Why do you punish me with this shit?
Damian Priest defeated Sheamus in a championship contenders match. My question for you, Top Guy JJ, what have you thought about Nikki Ash's quote-unquote push so far on Monday Night Raw?
It feels like somebody is trying to stuff a bunch of pills down my throat, and then I have to hit the back of my throat and then vomit it out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this because I don't hate Nikki Cross, Ash, whatever this is, but this is hot dog shit.
Wow.
I got the confidence that I can defeat. What? And then you become champion for a week, and then you lose in your very first in-ring match.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's already underwhelming, and it was underwhelming to begin with. So I'm already disinterested, and I did turn on USA Network at 10:55 and realized that these two are main eventing, and I turned it right back off. So I don't know how it ended. I have no idea because I was like, "You're kidding me! This is the main. This is the main event of. This is the main event of Monday Night Raw." Is a contenders match between Charlotte Flair and Nikki ASH.
Yep.
I don't really have anything else to add to it, but I don't watch this show. And every time I keep hearing about the dumb shit that occurs on this show makes me grateful that I did not see this train wreck. I'm pretty sure somewhere along the line you probably got a Drew McIntyre story in there somewhere. If you didn't, better for y'all. But apparently 1.8 million people watch this bullshit. Kudos to y'all. I hope you got what you wanted because I damn sure didn't watch it at all. I saw 35 seconds of it and then I saw Instagram clips.
Seems to be a wise decision of your time, I will say. I have to commend you for that. But yeah, Nikki.
I know. I understand. You get paid for that. So you know.
No, this is the one show that it pains me that I have to watch, but I watch it for you folks watching Tru Heel Heat, which hopefully you spend the time to watch this and go through
Right?
a couple of ads where I will get paid for this. So thank you for your
That is
time and
really that
dedication.
is really fucked up that you're gonna ask me about Monday Night Raw and not NXT, but then you don't ask Krssi about Monday Night Raw. You just did this on purpose, you son of a bitch.
I always ask Krssi about Monday Night Raw. It's
I
about
was about to,
time
he
that
was,
I
about to,
ask
he
you.
was
No,
about to ask me.
you always ask
You
Krssi about SmackDown
you literally turned off your camera last week with our guests. Like, come
because
on.
Raw is the worst show on
Man.
Raw is the worst show on all of wrestling programming right now.
Yeah, so
I'm not going to say you're wrong at all. I mean, even
no.
with fans back, it was better last week, but still had its issues, its obvious issues like carrying Cross and the band aid on a gaping wound that was Nikki Hatch cashing in Money in the Bank. But yeah,
So I was scrolling through Instagram, right? And then I saw there was a segment between Eva Marie and Lily.
well,
Oh,
there was
yeah.
Eva Marie and Tamina versus Tamina and Natalia. We have to send our best wishes to Natalia. She was injured during the matchup, and Eva Marie got like a 2 count on Tamina, and then they cut to the video wall where they did
Lily.
a Lily Lucian promo.
Do you guys know that they're actually selling Lily on the website? They
Of
have
course
like
they are. Of course they are. Of course
Bravo
they are.
WWE.
Of course they
Bravo.
are.
Bravo. Gotta love it. You gotta love WWE. They're awesome for that.
This week on Impact Wrestling, it was a very newsworthy episode indeed. The show kicked off with Switchblade Jay White teaming with Chris Bay in his first Impact Wrestling official matchup against the Impact Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers. Despite Switchblade looking good in his debut, Chris Bay was pinned by the Good Brothers following the Magic Killer as the team Beyblade came off to an unsuccessful start. Following the matchup, Chris Bay expressed disappointment in failing in his first match with the Bullet Club, but Switchblade let him know that he is not officially a part of the Bullet Club just yet, and he had to prove himself. The two men later in the night attacked Finjuice, leading up to the resurgence match between David Finlay and Jay White for the Never Openweight Championship. Also on that same show, it was announced that in 2 weeks' time there will be a battle royal to determine the number one contender for Kenny Omega's Impact World Championship. Kenny Omega and Don Callis expressed being upset with this decision made by Tommy Dreamer and came out for a promo segment which was interrupted by Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan let the Elite know that he will be versing them in a 6-man tag team match, Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, and he had to choose 2 mystery partners, and he expressed that he would jump over the barricade to attack them, but instead it was none other than AEW's own Elite Hunter, Frankie Kazarian, making his return to Impact Wrestling, attacking the Elite along with Sami Callihan and running the group off. It was then explained later on in the night that Frankie Kazarian, Sami Callihan, and Eddie Edwards would verse Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers next week on Impact on Access TV. We will have more follow-up on the latest with Impact Wrestling next week. And SmackDown finally was another newsworthy episode as the build and the lead up to SummerSlam continues. The show kicked off with John Cena making another scathing promo in regards to Roman Reigns, telling that Roman Reigns is scared of him and even calling him by his first real name, Joe. He was then interrupted by Baron Corbin, still doing his broke man gimmick, and he was given an attitude adjustment by the Doctor of Thugonomics. Later on in the night, it was supposed to be a contract signing for Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Instead, Baron Corbin attacked Finn Balor before he could sign the contract, and then Baron Corbin looked like he was going to sign the contract that Roman Reigns already signed for SummerSlam. Instead, it was John Cena who came down and attacked Baron Corbin and signed his name on the dotted line. So it is now official. Roman Reigns will face John Cena for the WWE Universal Championship. In other noteworthy and newsworthy content on SmackDown this week, The Boss Sasha Banks made her return to SmackDown for the first time since WrestleMania. She helped out SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair from an attack from Carmella and Zelina Vega. This led to a tag team match main event, a fun match indeed with Sasha and Bianca Belair getting the victory. It seemed that everything was rosy and peachy between the two ladies who were in the WrestleMania main event, but you can never trust the boss. Sasha Banks gave Bianca Belair a backstabber following the matchup and then locked her in the bank statement repeatedly, telling her, "I never forget and I'm the boss." So it seems that Sasha Banks is back in her heel ways, and we seem to get Sasha versus Bianca at SummerSlam.
All right, now that we're done with what we missed, let's go through our news rundown. WWE news. You guys want to hear something interesting that plays into our top news story? After CM Punk and Danny O'Brien has been suspected to sign with another company outside of WWE, multiple MMA insiders. Oh my God, why are you still doing this? Multiple MMA insiders on the Figure 4 Online and Wrestling Observer newsletter boards are claiming Brock Lesnar has signed a deal with someone other than the WWE. Very, very interesting.
That is very interesting.
We will keep you updated on that for sure.
Despite that previous report regarding the message board with Brock Lesnar, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that there is nothing at all to the rumors, as AEW President Tony Khan had never had business discussions with Brock Lesnar. Those close to the Beast Incarnate said the stories that he secretly signed with the company are 100% inaccurate. As of this time, Brock Lesnar has not signed with WWE, AEW, or even UFC. It remains to be seen what exactly is behind these rumors, but we will keep you updated on Tru Heel Heat.
In other news, you had Andrew Zarian of the Matman podcast reports that the WWE is set to return to Saudi Arabia in October, barring any possible restrictions due to the COVID-19 panorama. A date has not been confirmed, but the rumor is that the show will happen on October 21st, a Thursday. Zarian also reported that WWE is planning on a Queen of the Ring tournament for that same month, kicking off on SmackDown on October 8th and Raw on October 11th, after which was reported by Wrestling Inc. And Zarian then reported that the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament will likely be held in Saudi Arabia at the planned event there. Progression. WWE is such an inspirational company. You know, women just were able to drive in Saudi Arabia, and now they're going to see a Queen of the Ring crowned. How do you feel about that, Miss Krssi Love?
I don't know if I should be happy or just say why. I'm stuck because why are we going back to Saudi Arabia in the Panorama? Seriously. Hopefully they don't get stuck there like they did last time. This is I don't even know how to feel about this, to be honest. Love that we're having a Queen of the Ring tournament. What will happen with the Queen of the Ring? What will happen to her? Will she get a push or she'll look like Baron Corbin? What will happen?
She'll probably be the queen for like another year until they have another Queen of the Ring tournament. Or for 2 years, like they did with Baron Corbin when they didn't have a King of the Ring in 2020.
Because it was okay.
So they completely devalued the potential of the Queen of the Ring once they realized it's going to be in fucking Saudi.
Right.
It's completely devalued. Like completely irrelevant at this point now. It means jack shit. It means jack shit. It's like Braun Strowman winning the greatest Royal Rumble ever.
Right. And look where he is at.
That was quickly forgotten. Also, The Undertaker winning that Kuwait trophy. Or the Good Brothers winning the best tag team in the world. The only thing that was lasting...
or Shawn Michaels returning to the ring.
The only thing that was lasting from Saudi Arabia was Shane McMahon being the best in the world. Shane McMahon. Absolutely. And I just thought of the perfect title for this episode of Tru Heel Heat. Cult of Panorama.
Yay! See, you got it. That's the new word. Panorama, peeps.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. This is the quality content you get on Tru Heel Heat. Um,
Oh, top JJ.
I ain't
Usually,
following that shit.
usually you're with the shits, not Sid.
Yeah, I'm
Shocking. You
usually
must
with
be on you gotta be on medication. Gotta
thing.
be.
No, as SP depressed me with talking about Raw and Saudi and back to back segments. Like he's a scumbag for this. Like this should have just been in the East Coast.
Hey, we got better news. We got more WWE news. WWE has announced that actress Tiffany Haddish will host the official after party for this year's SummerSlam on October 21st in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's good news. Celebrity involvement for SummerSlam. Speaking of Monday Night Raw, though, thank for you for that quick segue there, Top Guy JJ. Natalia, like I said before, appeared to suffer some sort of injury to her ankle on Monday's Raw, but she took to
Great. So
Twitter.
now we can take the belts off them because they don't need it anymore. We've had enough
Damn.
of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Over it.
But she took to Twitter to comment on the incident with a photo of her leg bending against Doudrop. She hasn't actually confirmed the injury or her status for future WWE events. Fightful Select reports that Randy Orton is currently listed on the disabled inactive list in the company, which was the only reason given for why he has been out for almost a month. There is said to be no issues between Orton and WWE. Everyone wants him to be back in time for the August 2nd episode of Monday Night Raw. There were plans in place for Orton and Riddle through SummerSlam, but Orton's absence forced them to call an audible. According to Wrestling Inc., that seems to likely change soon as Orton is advertised for Saturday's WWE Super Show, a live event in Milwaukee, as well as Sunday's show in Detroit, Michigan. Local ads also have Orton teaming with the Riddle and Drew McIntyre against Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, and Omos.
Oh my God! Please don't. Please don't.
In a likely dark main event at Monday Night Raw this coming week.
Woke Culture and Wrestling Inc. reports that Jeff Jarrett has actually parted ways with WWE as a producer. They first reported this on Friday, saying that Wrestling Inc. saying that Jarrett parted ways with the company back in January, and he was never signed to any sort of deal to work as a producer. Other sources and platforms have come out and said that Jarrett is loosely still associated with WWE, but more on a when he wants to be there type of role. It should be interesting as we keep you updated on this story, and we'll have a follow-up on next week's Tru Heel Heat. Several notes coming out of WWE's Q2 conference calls as they reported increased business, and even Vince McMahon directly referencing AEW after a question directed to him during the Q&A portion. Stephanie McMahon is putting over the zombies and the views and impressions and trending topics associated to it following the WrestleMania Backlash, universally panned Army of the Dead crossover. Nick Khan says WWE sees an opening on the sports calendar with some openings and are using it to implement some Saturday pay-per-views following the decision to make SummerSlam a Saturday event. The WWE's latest house show in Louisville, Kentucky was the highest grossing of any WWE's 9 events at the Yum Center. Nick Khan talked about how much better the merchandise sales are at live events upon their return to touring than the last time they were in these particular cities. Nick Khan says that viewership of WWE's pay-per-views are up drastically on Peacock over the WWE Network. And of course, in the juicier news, Vince McMahon took part in the Q&A section from the media regarding the Q2 earnings, and he directly answered questions in regard to AEW. When asked about AEW's investments and in their roster signings, Vince McMahon says he isn't sure what AEW's plans are and wouldn't consider them competition the way WCW was back in the day. He doesn't consider this competition the way Ted Turner came at WWF with all of his assets. He also, when talking about AEW, Vince said, and I quote, "I'm not sure where their investments are, but when it comes to their talent, perhaps we can give them some more." Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful took notes on the conference call and did mention Vince really trails off here, so it's hard to tell if this is a sick burn or him asking Nick Khan to add more color to their views on AEW. He said, "I could also be construed as Vince saying I'm not so sure what their investments are as far as their talent is concerned. Perhaps we can give them some more." So he says that Vince's volume is notoriously low on these calls, so it's really hard to add proper content even hearing it firsthand. Speaking of Vince McMahon, WWE and Plumhouse Studios have announced a new limited scripted series called The United States of America vs. Vince McMahon. The series will focus on Vince McMahon being indicted in 1994 for allegedly supplying talent with anabolic steroids. McMahon was eventually acquitted by a jury of his peers. This is going to talk about the Rupert Murdoch articles in the New York Post, which led to him being indicted for anabolic steroid distribution. It's very interesting because Rupert Murdoch is a part of management for Fox that the WWE now airs SmackDown on. This limited edition series was not announced where it's going to be available on, but it should be very interesting as it will follow Dark Side of the Ring Season 3, which will focus on the 1994 steroids trials. We'll keep you updated on the latest on this limited edition series and the Dark Side of the Ring episode concerning the steroids trial.
We got to move on to AEW news. Cassidy Haynes and BodySlam.net report that with cases of COVID-19 going back up due to the Delta variant of the virus, there is concern in AEW that their plans will be halted. Due to the rise in cases of the variant, cities and states in the United States have been changing their mass and virus testing mandates. There's actually been a mass mandate just made for Las Vegas, Nevada, where WWE is going to be running SummerSlam. AEW is worried about the Delta cases interrupting their plans for shows in the two aforementioned cities, as well as St. Louis, Missouri, and more. There have also been talks in the company about what to do if there is another shutdown, including a possible return to Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, for another extended stay. It's been described as an all-hands-on-deck situation as of late, but ultimately Tony Khan has to make a decision about what is right for the talent, staff, and especially the fans. The CDC is currently recommending masses once again, even for some of those who are already vaccinated. The worry in AEW is that the large gatherings will be banned again. The main concern at the moment is with Chicago, Illinois for All Out Week, as well as the First Dance in the United Center, and the New York area for the Arthur Ashe Stadium event on September 22nd, as both cities have been working to stop the surge of new cases. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot said that the mask mandate could return to the city along with other possible restrictions. In New York, municipal workers are now required to get vaccinated or take weekly COVID-19 tests. In St. Louis, an indoor mask mandate was reinstated on Monday. As of now, AEW is moving forward with their current plans, but are paying close attention to what goes on in these and other cities. Top Guy JJ, my question for you, could this possible restrictions or changes in the COVID-19 panorama cause AEW to push back plans for CM Punk and Daniel Bryan?
I think they're gonna try to hold steadfast on it. They're gonna try to at least hang on to it until they're gonna be they're gonna have to be one of those last minute decisions to do this because they locked in so many. They locked in so many contracts that they have to get some payback for this. So hopefully they're able to hang on until that last moment because they pulled out pretty quick last time. So which was obviously the smart thing to do, but I think this go around, they're going to just keep a tight eye on things. And really, unless it's a mandated restriction, they're not going to pull back. They can't pull back again. Like, we've lost too much, and I don't see them doing it again just out of precaution.
It makes sense. It makes sense. So we're hoping that everything goes well with these COVID restrictions. That everybody gets vaccinated or wears their mask, and that's just the
Yes,
most that
please.
they have to do in regards to this situation.
In an interview with Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Wrestling, Kurt Angle reveals that he was offered deals with AEW and Impact Wrestling following his retirement. Kurt Angle said, and I quote during the interview, "I had AEW's TNA they've offered, but I can't do it. I wish I could. My body's too banged up. I'm 52 years old, just trying to live my life now and trying to live it in less pain. I'm in a lot of pain right now. I'm suffering from the career I've had, but I don't regret it. AEW, I think, was a 7-match deal. TNA, I think they were just going to do 1 match, but I felt my final match is in WWE. I knew that I lost a step. I wasn't the same, and I wasn't in my prime anymore. I didn't like the person I was and the performer I was. But if I can't perform at the level that I was in my prime, I'm not going to do it anymore. That's why I turned down the offers from AEW and TNA."
According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, Jon Moxley had a discussion with Tony Khan about bringing over a New Japan Pro Wrestling star for him to work with at All Out. Tony reportedly agreed, and based on the promo on AEW Dynamite, it appears we are going to get Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi at All Out. Goosebumps. Put that in my
Right? You didn't see my face just come. I was like, wait, what?
Put that in my veins and inject it. Are you ready for Tanahashi versus Moxley, Krssi Love?
Oh my god! I feel that I have the goosebumps. Oh my god! Whoa, that's gonna be amazing. Love. I can't. That's gonna be at All Out too.
Yes, reportedly.
Chicago. Wow.
Chicago's getting it all. It's getting it all.
They pulling out all. Well, this is like their WrestleMania almost. If anything, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, it is.
So they're gonna put. This is a big boy show. We have to go all out, man. We have to do this all and get it all while we can. Yep.
Do it big. During a recent interview with the Wrestling Perspectives podcast, AEW star Malachi Black discussed joining AEW and how he started thinking about the company the day he was released from WWE. He said, and I quote, "I'll be completely honest with you. The day I got released, AEW popped into my head. I had so many friends there, and one of the last conversations I had with John Huber, aka Brody Lee, rest in peace, he said, 'You'd love it here. You'd have so much fun here.' And that kind of always stuck with me because him and me every once in a while would talk, and they have definitely been moments where I was very frustrated. I know he went through similar stuff, so I spoke to him about it a couple of times, and telling me how great he felt and how relieved he felt. So that conversation stuck with me a lot. It's great to hear that Malachi Black is in a better space, being creatively fulfilled in AEW. Speaking of people returning or coming to AEW, Emi Sakura, former Joshi star who was with AEW in the past, is coming back to the United States and AEW. She announced on last Saturday. Sakura, who signed with AEW back in 2019 and split time between the company and Japan before the Panorama made that impossible, announced on Saturday evening that she is heading back to the United States to compete for AEW full time. And then AEW announced the full lineup for next week's Homecoming in Jacksonville, Florida. You're going to see the labor of Jericho, Chris Jericho versus Juventud Guerrera, because Jericho will have to win the match with a top rope maneuver as set by MJF. AEW TNT Championship is on the line. Miro will defend against Lee Johnson. Have to note Miro's awesome promo, which he says the only two things that motivate him is a vengeful god and a double-jointed wife. Miro has become one of the best promos in professional wrestling. I just have to say that.
Another one that has again evolved as they have left the other company, and now look at what they're doing. I'm just saying. I can't be singing the wrong song every time. I'm just saying.
You're spitting the truth.
That's what happens when you pull back those PG writers and just like here, let's take off the collar and let them loose.
Yeah.
Exactly. You also got Layla Hirsch versus the Bunny in an NWA Women's World Championship eliminator matchup. The winner will verse the NWA Women's World Champion Camille. Christian Cage will go one-on-one with the Blade. And, of course, the grudge match. Cody Rhodes will go one-on-one with Malachi Black.
Ooh, that's gonna be a banger. Mm-hmm.
Top Guy JJ, what do you think about the lineup for Homecoming next week?
This is why I watch Dynamite every week. Like this is. I mean, the card. I mean, it all I had as a big match was Cody and Malachi Black. I would have been happy with that.
Right, that part.
and that match might actually be secondary to everything else that's happening. Like, I don't want to sound. I'm gonna start to sound like a stan for AEW at some point.
Yep.
But it's when all I want and all we ask for literally is for you to deliver us good shit.
That's all we ask. That's it.
All we ask. That's all. Like, we don't ask for much. Like, we don't ask for much to stay locked in. Like, obviously, there's almost 2 million people watching some dog shit on the USA Network. So clearly, you don't need a lot to keep us invested. So, but the fact that they're trying and they're making, like, we know what we're looking forward to on a weekly basis. It's fucking amazing. It's amazing shit. Like, why is this so hard to do? Why can't we get teasers or spoilers instead of getting, this is what's happening on the card at 6 p.m. This is what's happening at 4:30. Like, it's like, my plans for the day is already made, Joe. Like, I'm not going to alter my day for some garbage match that you're going to send me.
Which is usually a rematch when it comes to Raw. So,
my God. Raw's like carbon copy. Like, okay, we're going to have either Rhea Ripley and Charlotte again. No, we're going to have them now go against Nikki Ash and have them all do it. It's like copy and paste. And it's like, I feel bad for the fans that have to now go there and you've paid your money to see this.
I don't feel bad for them. They fucking pay for it. I don't feel bad for them at all. At all. If you decide to go on Ticketmaster and buy tickets to Monday Night Raw, you're an idiot.
You deserve what you get.
Exactly. Oh, wow. Damn, guys.
Every ounce you're going to watch for 3 hours. Why would you think it's going to get better? Like, why? Like, why would it all of a sudden just magically poof the magic dragon get better? Why?
Well, they're doing it in front of fans, and then Raw has become a place where if you watch it live on Mondays and you go online and you have any sort of criticism to that, you get the army of fans that's like, why do you watch it and complain? Or if you don't like it, don't watch it. And all you do is complain about the product. You don't want it to be better. And now we've gotten to the point where there are fans that are actively like saying like, I've never betrayed WWE. How dare you betray WWE and become a fan of AEW? If it wasn't for WWE, there would be no wrestling to have around for AEW to be here. I will never betray my loyalty to a fucking billionaire, you fucking idiots. What the hell is wrong with people?
Wow.
The ones that they'll never betray is he don't even know your fucking name, stupid.
Stupid. He treats you like you're stupid, like you don't remember stuff.
Yeah,
it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling, honestly.
Yep.
But also, we should mention that in WWE news, this just came to me. Andrew Zarian has reported that WWE wanted Karrion Kross to lose this week on Raw. Jeff Hardy.
He should have.
To Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy has tested positive for COVID-19, so our thoughts are out there to Jeff Hardy. But that made a change in the plan, because the plan was for Karrion Kross to keep losing matches on the main roster until Scarlett Bordeaux debuted to help him start winning. In that quote, Andrew Zarian said on the Matman podcast this week, the plan was for Karrion Kross keep losing until Scarlett shows up and gets him back on track.
I just see the writing on the wall.
The writing on the wall.
This show is awful.
Oh my God.
Way over your head. You're gonna drown in the things that you said.
But
Why?
We're supposed to feel sorry for people that goes to this.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel bad for them.
It's your fucking choice.
Poor Keith Lee. Poor Keith Lee.
Speaking of Keith
I feel
Lee,
bad for Bobby Lashley, actually.
speaking of Keith Lee as well.
Oh yeah, that's a fact for that Goldberg crap. Okay.
Well, Bobby
Sorry.
Lashley and Goldberg are doing the same storyline as Roman Reigns and John Cena, so the better less said about them, the better, because you're seeing the same thing twice a week. But anyway, speaking of Keith Lee, he put out a tweet this week that he's decided that he will tell his story of why he was off television for 6 months in a week or two, so we'll keep you updated on that. In New Japan Pro Wrestling news, New Japan had a limited capacity event at the Tokyo Dome for Wrestle Grand Slam over the weekend with just 6,300 in attendance. It was because of the whole COVID-19 outbreaks, but New Japan has also announced 2 more Wrestle Grand Slam events to take place on September 4th and 5th from the MetLife Dome. Night 1 is going to have Kazuchika Okada versus Jeff Cobb in a rematch. You're also going to have the King of Pro Wrestling trophy on the line. Chase Owens defends against Toru Yano. Night 2 will have for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Shingo Takagi versus Evil. For the IWGP Tag Team Championships, Dangerous Tekkers will defend against Tetsuya Naito and Sanada versus Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto. And for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, the match I'm looking forward to, Robbie Eagles will defend against the returning Hiromu Takahashi. So Takahashi will make his official return to New Japan in one-on-one competition on September 5th at the MetLife Dome. But this does make me question even more why Evil is the next contender, because Evil versus Shingo is not a main event that's going to sell out any type of a big stadium.
Yeah.
Just saying. You could Kota Ibushi, I hope, is all right, because you have 2 months until that event, so I would think he would be better by then to do that matchup, Shingo and Ibushi. But hopefully, Ibushi is going to be better by then. New Japan Pro Wrestling also announced the teams for this year's Super Junior Tag League, which will include 6 teams overall. The round robin tournament begins on August 7th and runs through August 17th. The teams include the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori, Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo, who have won the tournament 3 times, Suzuki-gun, Yoshinari Kanemaru, and El Desperado. Team 1 or 8, Rizuka Taguchi and Master Wato, the Far East Connection, Gato and Dick Togo, and Robbie Eagles and Tiger Mask. According to the Wrestling Observer Radio, Chase Owens winning of the King of Pro Wrestling 2021 trophy is the start of a big push to make Owens a credible wrestler in the company. It was noted that he will be in the G1 Climax this year and will have a decent run in that tournament. New Japan Pro Wrestling has yet to officially announce the participants of this year's tournament. However, what do you think about our former interviewee on Tru Heel Heat, Top Guy JJ, Chase Owens, getting a big push?
I like it. I like it, man. I mean, it's finally it's something that it feels a little overdue. That we've had this discussion even with him. What more than 2 years ago?
Yep.
I'm glad that it's happening. I just hope that it's done right, because it's been long enough that he's been kind of on the back burner, because basically his interest has been essentially having a couple matches and playing video games right afterwards, because his push was so minimal, like that he would basically just go to work and to go play Call of Duty. So hopefully this push ignites a bigger interest into what he's getting invested for.
Seems legit, and I'm hoping, it is going to mean more for him for sure.
Following this week's New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong episode, the Tag Team Turbulence Finals were officially over, and the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, defeated Chris Dickinson and Brody King of Violence Unlimited to win the tournament. It was an 11-minute match with the Good Brothers hitting the Magic Killer to get the win. Following the victory, Jon Moxley laid down a challenge to the Good Brothers at New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence on August 14th at the Torch at LA Coliseum. He promised to bring a friend. New Japan Pro Wrestling posted the video from Moxley after this week's AEW Dynamite, in which he promised he settles all his scores eventually, and said he's meeting a buddy in LA for some beers on August 14th, so he's gonna make a 2-for-1 and will be bringing his friend to the show to challenge the two. Very interesting comics by Jon Moxley. Now that he's not the IWGP United States Champion, he has time to finish the score with the Good Brothers.
Impact Wrestling announced the teams for their one-night tournament for Homecoming, where they're going to have a mixed tag team tournament to crown the Homecoming King and Queen. The first 5 teams are Petey Williams and Jordan Grace, the family of Pump, with Little Petey Pump and Thick Mama Pump, Jordan Grace, Tommy Dreamer and Rachel Ellering, Matt Cardona and his fiance.
Tommy Dreamer still is out there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Matt Cardona.
He still wrestles.
Yeah, apparently.
Matt Cardona and his fiance Chelsea Green, Rosemary and Crazy Steve of the Decay, and Brian Myers and a partner to be announced.
Tonight, live on the Impact Plus app, you can see Impact Wrestling Homecoming, their latest Impact Plus special, which will feature their Impact Homecoming tournament, a mixed tag team tournament that will crown the first ever Homecoming King and Queen in Impact Wrestling history. The first round will feature Hernandez and Alicia Edwards of Swingers Palace versus Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo and a partner to be announced. You're also going to see the Pump family, Little Petey Pump teaming with Thick Mama Pump, Jordan Grace versus Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green. You'll also see Crazy Steve and Rosemary of the Decay versus Fala and Flava, Fala Ba and Tasha Steeles, as well as Tommy Dreamer and Rachel Ellering versus Brian Myers and a tag team partner to be announced. The tournament semifinals and finals will take place on the Impact Plus special. You'll also see in a hardcore match Eddie Edwards versus W. Morrissey, continuing their rivalry, and for the X Division Championship, Josh Alexander will face Black Taurus. That is available on the Impact Plus app, and our boys of Blunt Impact, Chris G and Ness, will do a full review of this show, available right here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel.
And then our final news note, Ring of Honor ROH announced that the EC3 will face Brian Johnson on Night 2 of Glory by Honor 2021, which will take place on August 20th. And then finally, we're going to finish things off. We don't have any shows to preview this week, but we will do our top 3 must-see Forbidden Door dream matches. Each of the hosts will have to bring together their own must-see, the matches they want to see the most, with the Forbidden Door being wide open, as Jon Moxley said on AEW Dynamite this week. So AEW is working with New Japan, New Japan's working with Impact, Impact's working with AEW, AEW is working with NWA. We've seen NWA stars working in Impact Wrestling with Mickie James. So all of these promotions are in a big pot, and you can choose anyone from these 4 promotions to put up against each other. What is your top 3 must-see Forbidden Door matches? Ladies first, as always, Miss Krssi Love. Start us off.
Okay, so my first one is going to be Jay White versus Hangman Page.
I like it.
Thank you. My second one, well, let's just first travel back to that one. Those 2 fine men, I'll be there any day of the week, first of all. Jay White, I was so excited to see him. So, yeah. God damn it. My next one is my Bua Bushi. Hopefully, he'll be all right and he can come out and he can play. I want him to go, Malachi Black.
I dig that. I wasn't thinking of that one. I like that one a lot.
And my last one, I want to say, I am going to say, what's the other person? Let me do a ladies. I would love to see Mickie James, and Miss Britt Baker, probably.
That's a very good one. That's one I wouldn't have thought of off the top of my head. Very good options right there from Miss Krssi Love.
Thanks.
Of course, for you guys watching, you can leave your comments down below with your top 3 must-see Forbidden Door dream matches and who you think out of the 3 of us had the best options. Top Guy JJ, give us your 3 must-see Forbidden Door dream matches.
I gotta go with my main event, as I've been wanting to see for the God knows how long now. Just another match between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Like I need that. I need that, and I could watch that all night, all day, 3 times on Sunday. Um, Next one, I wanted to go a little outside here. I wanted to go with a Malachi Black match. I want to see Malachi Black and Naito.
Nice.
Very nice.
And my third option, I want to see a show stealer. So I think by show stealer, what I would want to see is freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy versus Hiromu Takahashi.
Ooh.
That's an interesting one. Very, very interesting one. I like those 3 as well. All right. So I'm going to go with the ladies first. And I'm going to say Dr. Goat Baker, DMD, the AEW Women's World Champion, versus Impact Knockouts Champion Deonna Purrazzo.
That shit was right. That was right there. It's like an honorable mention. Good
honorable mention. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Because they're best friends. It only makes sense.
Oh, are they really?
They're best friends in real life, so
that means they're gonna give a banger. Yep,
against
like a Sasha and Bailey. Yep. Okay, go ahead.
Rosa's a beauty.
Next, I would go with 2 people who I believe are maniacs that put their body on the line way too much. One gets injured a lot. The other is the next enigmatic star in professional wrestling, and I'm talking about Darby Allin going against Hiromu Takahashi. I think that would just be insane. They would just be flying all over the place, hurting each other and hurting themselves, and that would just be great.
Yep.
Yes. And my third is a rematch, but it's a match that everybody's been wanting. It's a match that I will probably keep saying that I want until the end of time. My honorable mention would be Okada versus Omega in the United States, because we never got that at the G1 Supercard in Madison Square Garden. And that needs to be in a stadium at a pay-per-view for AEW if they can make that happen. But AEW definitely needs to make happen Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi. We need the battle of the Golden Lovers in a big stadium, in a big event for AEW or New Japan in the Tokyo Dome. That needs to happen. That must happen. It doesn't have to be for a championship. It could just be one-on-one, and I'm here for it. The battle of the Golden Lovers needs to happen. So that is my 3. So let us know.
Good one, guys.
In the comment section below, 3 different options from all 3 of us. Give us your top 3. Yeah.
Do you think that, you know how we will either go to someone's house to watch these pay-per-views, or we watch them together on, via Zoom or whatnot? Do you think that they are doing that over in Connecticut, watching AEW and just writing pen and paper and just taking notes? But probably not executing those notes because they don't give a shit anyway. But do you think that they're paying for these pay-per-views? Maybe, they probably don't even pay for it. They probably got illegal shit going on and just find a link and just watch it that way.
Well, according to Area Davari, yes, they do. There are WWE superstars who have admitted that they do watch AEW. Killian Dane also did an interview where he said that they used to watch AEW backstage at NXT when they would go head to head. So yeah, they do.
I'm
talking about Vince and Triple H and Shawn.
Oh, Vince ain't watching that shit.
I would definitely say talent's watching it, but no producers are watching that at all.
Really? You think so?
I don't think any producers is watching it. The reason why they're not watching it because they would actually know what they would know what good content looks like.
You know what? That's a fact. No. That's a fact.
Hell to the no. What?
But I don't see any producers watching it at all.
Okay.
At all.
But I'm happy that other wrestlers, other superstars are giving props and watching them, because they all are, at the end of the day, they all are friends. They all know each other. The community is very, like, they know each other. Like, there's a friend of a fan, or we've wrestled, or we've met each other, like we've been in a car together, something like that. So I'm happy. I'm glad to hear you say that part, SP.
That forbidden door on WWE side is padlocked. It's padlocked. It's got a door in front of it. It's got a chair in front of it. They got everybody locked in. There's no forbidden door passage into the WWE. They tried with New Japan. They tried and failed, as we see with AEW and New Japan doing more together. So, yeah. The forbidden door is burnt. There's no door there. There's no door. It's just a wall now.
Just a wall. Damn.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's why we were so underwhelmed and not really caring about that speculation conversation when we had it. No one cared. No one even thought of giving matches because
they're so focused on going to Saudi.
It just
they want to go to Saudi Arabia. That's what they're focused on.
Exactly.
He signed his life on the dotted line, so therefore he owns them.
All they want to say blood money and move on.
But like I said, give us your top 3 must-see Forbidden Door dream matches in the comment section below. Let us know what you thought about our choices for Forbidden Door matches, and let us know who you thought had the best options. Of course, if you're here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button. If you are new to the channel, hit the bell to stay notified. Whole bunch of great content that is already up on the channel right now. We had our first ever AEW Dynamite live watch along with Romeo and Ness watching Fight for the Fallen 2021. A lot of great feedback from there. A lot of new subscribers to the channel.
That sounds fun. I have to be a part of one of those soon.
For sure. They're going live next week for Homecoming, so you could possibly join them for that.
Okay.
Great experience, interact.
That would be okay. I'm gonna do that one. Yeah.
With them reacting to it. You can also check out the live review that myself, Jimmy Macaram, and Marcus Cash did for Fight for the Fallen, where we broke down each and every segment, different perspective. You get the reaction from Romeo and Ness, and you get a full review and analysis from me and the guys of AE Recap with AE Ramble, our live AEW Dynamite review. Of course, there's Rated Raw Superstars every Monday following Monday Night Raw, where Romeo and Drunk Guy JJ go live following the show. You also got NX3 with Romeo, Ness, and Chris G reviewing WWE NXT. You also got the live review for Blunt Impact with Chris G and Ness. They go live every single Thursday following Impact Wrestling. So there's a whole bunch of great content to enjoy, and we even did a live watch along for SmackDown this week. So we're getting more live content, and we're going to be back with a live edition of Tru Heel Heat in 2 weeks time, August 14th, where the worlds collide. Tru Heel Heat versus the Distraction podcast of Fightful. Jeremy Lambert and Joseph Holbert will be back on the show together this time, and they will face myself and Top Guy JJ in the first ever Worlds Collide fantasy draft of wrestling.
Wow.
Miss Krssi Love as the special guest judge. She has to be non-biased. She has to cut it right down the middle and being the judge. But
that's so. Oh my God!
And not only
you said fantasy draft.
Yes.
Oh, they about to get cooked.
Not only is Krssi gonna be a judge,
cooked. They about to get smoked, cooked, turned, and I probably won't even season them. They going out raw.
Not only is Krssi going to be a judge, but you guys are going to be a judge as well. And then the following week is our huge 4th anniversary, 4-year anniversary of Tru Heel Heat. 4 years since our first podcast for Tru Heel Heat. So some big live editions of Tru Heel Heat coming up, but we'll be back next week with Tru Heel Heat 137. But enjoy all that great content. Miss Krssi Love, where can they find you on social media?
I am the sensationalist Krssi Love. You can find me on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook. You can, it's just Krssi Love _ or just Miss Krssi Love, and my name is just Crystal Lynch. Hopefully I will be on more content on the live streams with other guys. So see you there.
And Top Guy JJ, where can they find you on social media?
On Instagram, you can mainly find me at Tru Heel _ Top Guy JJ, and on the YouTube channel, you can find me every week with these two awesome people here on the Tru Heel Heat podcast, and on a couple roundtables, usually the live roundtable reactions. You know, especially if the pay-per-view is worth it, definitely catch us on that.
Yes, he has become a staple of the roundtable. He's the new,
yes, he's one. Yeah, he's the yep.
He's the new roundtable rebel. He took Ness's spot. You can find me on Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. You can find my written content over on Sports Keto Wrestling. Almost daily features up on there. I've done almost 30 this month, so check out all the great content that I got over there as well. You can see me every Wednesday on Powered 4 TV YouTube channel with Powered 4 SP3, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. BST. Every Wednesday as well at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. BST with Alex McCarthy on Wrestling Daily. We're doing everything with the wrestling world, talking about it and doing a great debate. And you can see me every Friday on Sports Keto Wrestling YouTube channel on Smack Talk with Rick Ucchino and Dutch Mantel. And this week, you can find me on Sports Keto Wrestling YouTube channel on their weekly podcast, Inside Cradle, with Kevin Kellum, talking about the latest in the wrestling world. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. You can follow our friends over at Battle Club Pro as well as Warrior Wrestling. We are going to be having a huge announcement about Warrior Wrestling next week on Tru Heel Heat, so stay tuned for that. And of course, if you're listening to us on all your favorite podcast platforms, give us a 5-star rating, leave us a review, and we will shout you out on the next edition of Tru Heel Heat. Like this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. Of course, if you're new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat. And of course, you can see us on the powered4.tv website, where you can see all our great content for Tru Heel Heat over there. So until Tru Heel Heat 137 next week, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3, for Miss Krssi Love, for Top Guy JJ. We are signing off until next time.